In this, Jason, we're going to look at how to write a linear equation from 2 points, and those 2 points happen to be fractions. So this gives people some trouble because of the fractions, but honestly, it's not that bad. So let's take a look at what we had to do here. We're following the same rules that we always do. So the first thing is we got y, or we got to find our slope. So our slope here will be m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And so we're going to do that. So we got 7/6 minus 5/3 over -5/6 minus 2/3. Okay, got to find a common denominator. So we're going to find a common denominator. That's going to be 6 for these. So we'll have 7/6 minus 10/6. And on in the bottom, we're going to have -5/6 minus 4/6. Now, I went through that quickly. If you have questions about how to find common denominators and get equivalent fractions, you need to review that topic as you go along. So we're going to work this out. 7/6 minus 10/6 gives me -3/6, and then we have -4, or excuse me, -5/6 minus 4/6. That's going to be -9/6. Now, at this point, you might be tempted to simplify these fractions and then see what you got. But let's go ahead and instead of doing that, let's follow the process for dividing fractions and see if something simplifies out, making it easier. So we got -3/6 divided by -9/6. That's this turned into a division problem. We're going to change division to multiplication, and we're going to find the reciprocal of the second fraction. And if we do it this way, you see what happens? These go ahead and cancel out. And it would have simplified the same way if you'd have done it, if you'd have simplified first. But why do extra steps when you can just do it all in one step? 3 goes into 3 one time, 3 goes into 9 3 times, leaving me with a slope of negative, or excuse me, positive, because this is a negative right there. This would be positive 1/3. And leave it as a fraction. Don't try to change it to a decimal. It just doesn't work. So our slope here is 1/3. So now we have to write the equation. So here we pick one point. It doesn't matter which point we pick. And we use the slope that we just found. I'm going to pick the first one because both points are positive. That's the only reason. And it helps that this is already 1/3. So I have everything with thirds. So that might be easier. I don't know. So we're going to substitute what we know. We know that y1, if we use this point, is 5/3. So minus 5/3 equals m, which is 1/3, times x minus 2/3. Okay, so we're going to try to get it slope intercept form right. So we have to distribute that 1/3. That's going to give me 1/3 x when I distribute that. And this will be minus 2/9. Now, here was a good reason to choose this one instead of the other one. It's a lot easier to get a common denominator with 3 and 9 than it is with 6 and 9. I mean, you can get it. It still is 18, but the number is smaller. So just pick whichever one makes you feel, happy. And so let's change colors. So here I'm going to add, let's see, I'm going to add 15/9. And where do I get 15/9 from? The common denominator is 9. And if I multiply by 3 and 3, I get 15/9. So I have a common denominator of 9. So I'm adding 15/9 each side. And so those are going to cancel. And y is going to equal 1/3 x plus 13 over 9. So there is the final answer. So a lot of work, but it's not, it's more tedious than it is difficult. Um, just be careful with the fractions. Make sure you fill in properly. Find your LCD and then the equivalent fractions. Don't simplify until you have to. That's my second piece of advice. And then just pick a point that makes you happy and substitute in and then simplify it to slope-intercept form. So I hope this helps you with this similar problem that you're going to have in your lesson. If not, please let me know and I'll try to find a different way to explain it and get you some additional help.